So this is a tangle called Well, Well, Who. And we start with an orb in the center, and then for those of you familiar with the tangle well, we're going to take off and land into the four corners. I like to use a square piece of paper for this the first time I do it, just so that each of these first ones go to a corner. This is a great time. Before I start, I like to show appreciation or gratitude for the pen, the paper, my life, whatever it is that I'm grateful for. Breathe those things in on the inhale, and on the exhale, I imagine all the junk that I don't need going right out my feet. Now we're doing some little ones in between the other ones. And I wanted to make those lines a little bit longer, so I added. Now remember, I'm showing you the basics of the tangle, and then, thunder. And then from there, you can add whatever you like, and you can change it as you go. Now I'm placing orbs in a circle, and so I put a pencil circle there, or a large pencil orb, just so that they were somewhat symmetrical, because I did want that for this one, and I normally don't, but this one I did. So that was the easiest way for me to, without spending, what my ego would have done is spend a lot of time trying to get it in the perfect place. And I didn't want the perfect place. I just wanted something that was close, and then I erased that pencil mark. So now I'm going to take off and land to up to each of these longer corner spaces, and you can curve it, you can round it, you can do whatever you like. This is yours. And so I'm going to take off and land to all of these. And I really make sure that you're breathing, not holding your breath. Make sure you're light with the pen and the pressure, because I've had so many times when I was beginning tangling that I would be holding my breath, and then I would go to put the pen down to the paper, and I would be gripping the pen so tight, and I couldn't figure out why my wrist hurt and my hand hurt and all of that. And it was because I was squeezing the pen so tight and pushing down so hard. And number one, pens don't like that. And it's just a way of stress tangling. So if you notice you're doing that, just ease up and be gentle with yourself, and just enjoy the process. So now we're going to take off and land up to this smaller center part of well that we had come out. And again, this is Well, Well, Who is the name of the tangle. And we're just going to do this all the way around. And here's what we have. So the rain is quite loud, so I hope that doesn't affect the video, but I think it's excellent. So now we're going to do it to the inside. So underneath these corner ones, we're going to use the orb to, it's kind of starting to look like Stella. And so we're going to take off and land into that long original center line that we did. We're going to do that all the way around. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to put a little aura on each of these small sections in the center. All we're going to do is, and it's going to be very subtle, but it's what we're going to do with it after that is pretty cool. And then when I was live, I let the followers decide what we did after that, which turned out pretty amazing. So wait till the end. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And then you can check out all of my other videos. I have some full classes that I released on YouTube that were paid classes, and I decided to put them up for free for anyone to see. Now, I kept that one and didn't do it because I wanted to see if I turned the paper the other way, if it was a little bit easier to do the other side. And I can't say I really noticed much of a difference. So now, underneath these auras we just did, I'm going to put what's called a ladybug, the ladybug part of Crescent Moon. And then we're going to aura that afterwards. So we're just going to put these little ladybugs. And if you're trying to figure out where this is on the tangle, it's underneath each of the flowers in the corner, the bigger flower part in the corner. It's where those auras are that we just drew. We're actually doing this inside the aura, okay? And then we're just going to aura it after that. So here's the aura. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. And here's what we have so far. So now we're going to aura that big kind of, I consider this kind of a flower or a very organic tangle. And so now we're going to aura each side of this all the way to the point. And we're going to do it on both sides. So now I'm going to add some shading. There's no rhyme or reason to shading. There's no light source. You can shade wherever you would like to shade. I did it down the center and on the outsides. And now I haven't finished tangling the middle of the, like the smaller inner part of what I would consider a flower. But I wanted, and the reason I didn't is I wanted to see what this looked like first. So I tend to go at tangling a little differently than other people. I go more about the journey to the end of the tangle, and the tangle is a bonus at the end. So I'm really focusing on, am I enjoying this? What does it look like? What do I want to do next? And I really just go with the flow. So I decided to bold the center line and then do rock and roll diva dance, because I was looking for something that was kind of scaly and while I was live, no one could think of anything. And then I just ended up doing this. So I think it ended up being the exact tangle it needed to be. What I found with tangling in regards to, I knew I was growing and learning when I could look at a tangle and just go ahead and add something. If I was looking at a tangle and my ego was getting involved and I was spending, 30 minutes just trying to decide what tangle to put down next, it just meant my ego was getting in the way and I was overthinking something that was supposed to be very relaxing. So then we decided to add some lines and we just weighted them at the bottom, meaning I just added some extra pen to the bottom so that some ink, so less shading was needed. And you can do something totally different here. In all of these sections, you can do whatever you would like. So this is what we did here. And then I added a little more shading. But then that night I couldn't, and rarely do I do anything with the tangles that same night. I kind of have to walk away, which I do recommend if a tangle's bothering you, or if you're not liking how it looks, walk away from it and come back. But this time I was very invested in this tangle, so I stayed up for a while, and this is what happened with it. Now for me, again, this is about stress relief, anxiety relief, mental health awareness. Creativity is a part of it, but it's not the most important part to me. And I think that's why my tangles turn out the way they do. So again, for me, it's about the journey to the end of the tangle. The tangle's a bonus at the end. Enjoy, check in with yourself. Thank you for taking time out for you. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos here on YouTube. I really enjoy sharing this process with you, and let me know in the comments what you think of this tangle. Have a great day.